Hey there, it's Ian with ianhedman.com, and in this short video what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the basics of a Facebook ad campaign, how the structure is set up, and we're actually going to walk through and do an actual campaign. So if you've never set up a Facebook ad campaign before, this will give you the basics of how they're structured and how you can set one up. We're not talking about the boost post button here, we're talking about actually using the Facebook Ads Manager through Business Manager or Power Editor, depending on what you've got access to. So let's get started. So I've got three boxes here on the screen, and each one represents a different aspect of a Facebook ad campaign. So the biggest box out here is campaign, and the campaign is the biggest piece of a Facebook ad campaign. I'm saying campaign a lot, I apologize, but I'll explain in a moment. Then we have ad sets, so we can have multiple ad sets within one campaign. And then we have ads, which live inside an ad set. So the idea is, as an example, you might have one campaign that you want to run a ad to promote your roofing business, let's say, right? So you've got a campaign where you want to target all homeowners in your city, or in particular postal codes or zip codes, right? And the goal is to get traffic to your website. So within the campaign, what you have to do is select the type of ad you're running. So is it, I want to get traffic to my website, I want to get people to watch a video, or do I want to just get engagement, or do I want to generate leads? Anyways, I'll show you later on in the video. There's a few examples here, but in the campaign, that's what you select here. You select what type of traffic, what type of engagement, what type of whatever it is you want, right? And that will flow down through everything underneath it. So campaign, that's the first thing. I'll show you how we set that up. Then we get to the ad set. So using the example, let's say that in campaign we set up an ad for a roofing contractor that just wanted to drive traffic to their website. And within that campaign, we might create two different ad sets. One ad set, so within the ad set, what we select is we select who we're targeting, where they live, any interests, their age, sex, all that good stuff, right? We also select how much we want to pay per day, or over a lifetime. If we want to run it for like 10 days, how much are we willing to spend over the 10 days total? And we also select where we want the ad to show up. So with Facebook ads, it's not just in the Facebook news feed where the ad can actually show up. It can show up in the sidebar. It can show up on partner sites. It can show up on Instagram. I'll show you that and how you want to where you probably want your ads to show up as a local business, and also some pros and cons to where you may want to test out. So within the ad set, that's what you set up, right? And then the ad itself, that's the image, that's the video, that's the copy, that's the thing that links to your website. That's the creative aspect of it. So you can have multiples. You can only have one campaign, but then you can have multiple ad sets within a campaign and multiple ads within an ad set. So in our example, let's say a roofing contractor might have one campaign for visits to their website. Let's say they want to run two types of ads. They want to run one ad that is people who are thinking about getting their roof done. So it's like, hey, get a free estimate. And then maybe they want to run one ad that's for service, because maybe there was just recently a windstorm or something like that, and it's hey, missing shingles, call free service estimate or something like that. So you might want to run two different ads. Inside the ad set, it's going to be targeting all the same people, but the ads would be different. So let's dig into our ads manager here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I've got an example. I'm just inside one of my ad accounts, and this is what it would look like once you're in there. So our first step here is, you can see there's three tabs here. There's campaigns, there's ad sets, there's ads. Just the same way that I was walking you through the image, right? Over here. So what we need to do here, just a moment here, my screen's a little frozen. All right, we got it fixed up here. So we have campaigns, ad sets, and ads, right? So what we're going to do is we want to create a new campaign. So whatever tab you're on is what you'll create first. So over here, we're going to click Create. It's going to come up with this quick creation tool. It basically does it in two steps. You first enter in what you want, and then it creates a draft. Then you confirm it's all good, and then you publish it. So I'll walk through. So we're going to call it Example Roofer Campaign, right? So here we've got, what are we buying type? Always auction for all local businesses, pretty much 99% of the time. Just always put auction. I wouldn't select anything else. Campaign objective, you've got all these different objectives, but I'm going to tell you, the ones you probably most want to do are traffic or video views. That's it. If you're following me on my blog at ianhedman.com, or you've watched some of my other tutorial videos, you'll understand why, but those are the two most important for what you're trying to generate awareness, leads, sales, and things like that for a local business. So we're going to select traffic. Now our ad set name, We can only create one at a time here. We're going to call this roofing quotes. This could work no matter what you're doing. If you're a real estate agent, if you're a chiropractor, if you're a dentist, if you're a retail store, the same concept applies. What goes in the ads is different, but how you set it up is the same. We're going to call this quote ad, right? And then we're just going to say save to draft. And this is going to basically save all these pieces, and it's going to ask me to confirm here. So now it's creating campaign, example roofer, campaign name. What objective is, yeah, traffic. That's what I want. So I'm going to close that. I don't want to post it yet. Now if I click on the blue name of this campaign here, it takes me to the next step. See, it switched over to the Adset. It brings me to the roofing quotes ad set that I created. Now what we want to do is click the little pencil right beside it. Oh, pardon me, sorry, edit, right underneath it there. Okay, I'm going to zoom out because this brings us to a similar type window we just saw. But right now, so I'm in Canada, so this is basically saying target everybody who's got a Facebook account in Canada, 24 million people. Don't want that. So we're going to go through this one by one. Step one, we're going to do this daily. Our daily budget, we're going to say $5. We're not going to put a schedule on it. We're just going to let it run because if the ad works, we have no reason to shut it off. Now, as a local business, oftentimes targeting interests really shrinks your audience, so we don't really have a point to do that. I'll show you what I'll normally do is, let's say that this business, we're keeping this simple, but let's say they're in Calgary. I could spell here. There we go, Calgary, Alberta. Okay. And yes, you can target by radius. We're not going to put 25 miles. We'll bring it down to maybe, yeah, we'll leave it 25 miles. Roofers will go pretty far. Now age, probably not 18. I'm going to bump this up to 35 myself. I'm going to bring it down from 65 to 60. Now, there's a whole nother method to this. It's kind of guesswork right now, but as you run more ads, you start to recognize the age demographic of who engages with your ads and who doesn't, right? Okay, so we got Calgary. So we're looking at 530,000 people right now for men and women 35 to 60. This is a little bit better range for us here. I'm not going to add any detailed targeting right now because I just want to run this to everybody because we don't know who, if we start narrowing it down, there's no interest for like needs a roof, right, or something like that. There isn't really a direct interest for homeowner either. Now, as a caveat to this, if you've read any of my posts, I'm a big proponent of running two ads. One is what I call a warm-up ad, and the later is called a conversion-focused ad. A little more advanced than this video. I just want to walk through how to set it up, but it's something to check out on my site or other videos I've got. Okay, so I'm going to leave the detailed targeting alone. I'm going to leave the connections alone. We scroll down here to placements. We're going to edit placements. These are all the places the ad will show if you leave it. For the purpose of most small businesses that are local, I don't have Messenger on. I don't have Audience Network on. I shut Instagram off, but I'll come to that in just a moment. And I shut off instant articles. Usually I'll leave feeds and right column. That's it. Sometimes I'll just leave feeds. For this example, we'll do both. Now, why did I shut Instagram off? Reason is because when you run a Facebook ad that's formatted for Facebook on Instagram, it doesn't look as good as it could. So it really screams ad on Instagram. If you want to run Instagram ads, I recommend creating another ad set, right? Another ad set with the same, everything else the same as what I just showed you, all the same targeting options, but just select Instagram. And then the creative, you can select a square image, for instance, that will look more like a proper Instagram post. So that's it for, I select feeds and right column. And then I usually go with all devices. That's fine. We'll leave that where that's at. Increase website. We've got two options here, link clicks. Now it's suggesting me that I could go to switch to landing page views. A landing page view guarantees basically that they're going to optimize people to view the page, to actually load the page. What happens sometimes is people click on a Facebook ad, they end up on your page, but they don't even let it load. Maybe they accidentally clicked on it, they had like click remorse or something like that, but they don't want to stick around, so they're going to leave. This works if you have what's called the Facebook Pixel installed on your website. I've got another video about that, which you can check out. But if you've got that, you could switch to landing page views. For now, I'm just going to leave it at link clicks. These are all little things you can change, but for relevancy's sake, to just get this tutorial done, it's not, you don't need to do that for your first campaign. Bid amount, I always leave it at automatic. If you find that you launch your campaign, you're not getting impressions or you're not getting clicks, you can go to manual and bid high, right? Bid like twice what they suggest here, just to try and force it to get impressions to see what happens. So that's all we need there. So I'm going to close this again. I'm not going to go review. And now I'm going to click on, remember here I'm still in the ad set tab. And I'm going to click the roofing quotes. And this takes me to the quote ad. So I'm going to click the edit, just like I did for the ad set. We're going to select our page. Right now I'm running this off of my personal page. You would select your business page here. If this was for Instagram, you'd add your Instagram placement, as you can see here. Now, you've got two choices. You can create an ad with an image or a video that you upload, or if you have a recent post on your page that you want to boost and run it as an ad, you can go use existing posts. If you click this, it brings up all the page posts that you've just most recently had, right? And you can select whichever one you want and run it as an ad, or you can create your ad right here. You can select and upload an image, back out here, right? Or upload a video if that's the case. Here's where you're going to put the website URL. So if I was, let's just grab for instance, so if I was going to link to this, display link, generally your website as well, right? If you leave it blank, it will select your website. The text, this is the text that's going to appear above it. So there's three types of text you're going to use here, right? So if you put text here, it shows above your image and ad. And then the headline and news feed link description are this. This is your headline, and this is description below, right? Now, if this is an image ad, if there was an image here, let's add an image just for the sake of it here. So this image, when you click on it, would link to whatever website URL I put here, right? So I tell you this because I'm going to tell you to do something that might seem counterintuitive. You've got the option to put a call to action button here. I'm going to say no button, okay? The reason I say no button is because you want to make things look as little like an ad as possible on Facebook. I know it's going to say sponsored, but it's still, if you can have it not look sponsored, that's better. Another sort of little tip here, if it makes sense for your business to do so, I've got a little one up here because my blog and my consulting and coaching Facebook page is me. So I've got a personal picture there rather than a logo or a brand. If you can use your picture or staff picture or team picture rather than a logo or something that screams business, that's a good tip. I would recommend that, right? So pretty much now we've got everything set up. We've got our description, we've got our headline, we've got our text. Now we would just click close. And the last step would be to review draft items. So just where did I click that? Right up here in the top right corner, review draft items. You'll see example roofers, the campaign, then Adset as roofing quotes, ad is quote ad. It all looks good. If I click confirm, I'm not going to do that because I don't want this ad to go live because it's just for this tutorial purpose. But that's it. Then you're all set to go. So that's how to go through and set up a Facebook campaign. Now, just one last thing. So what if we wanted to, let's say we got all this going, and in our example we said we wanted to run two ad sets, one for roofing quotes and one for service. So you don't have to go through that same process again. We can go back out to campaigns, and we'll click on the campaign, the example roofer campaign. This brings us to our ad sets. So we've got our one ad set here. So I've got it checked. What I'm going to do up here is just go duplicate. You see this here? Where do I want to duplicate it to? I want to duplicate it to an existing campaign, and I want to duplicate it to the example roofer campaign, and I want to do it one time. See, each ad set once. So I click duplicate, and that'll duplicate everything I just did, right? Even calls it roofing quotes copy, so I could call this one roofing service. I'm going to leave everything the same though, because I want to bid the same, I want the same targeting options in Calgary, the same age range, everything like that, right? So I'll click close. But now I'm going to click on my roofing service ad set, and here I want to change the ad, right? So it does this. I must have both these clicked. Let's unclick one of these here. Sometimes it does this when you duplicate, it shows both ads, right? So this is the ad I want because it's the one that's checked. So I would click edit this ad, and I'm going to change it to be whatever I want for the service ad. So I would click this to change the image, right? Change my image here, probably change your link because it's going to go somewhere different, change your display link, text, etc., etc. I still recommend not using a button, and then you can publish that ad. So that's the quick way to create multiple ad sets. So if you want to try different things, or if you're running two different types of ads but to the same people, that's how you would set that up. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, you can comment below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. Or you can comment on my blog if you're watching this right on my website. Thanks very much, and good luck. Have a great day.